Hey everyone, we're going to talk about Dogecoin, when to invest. Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you are new, please do subscribe, hit the bell button, leave a like and leave a comment. It obviously does help. So, I need to talk about it because people are asking about it. Dogecoin, when should I buy? My Facebook group, link below by the way, Telegram group, all those sorts of stuff below. Seriously, a lot of the questions are Dogecoin, when should I buy? Should I buy it? I really like this coin, I want to buy it. I'll talk about it, I'll go over it. Its origins, possible places where you can invest safely and understand how market cycles work. This is a meme coin. It's not the greatest in the world, I will be honest with you. The reason being, it just pumps massively and it gets a lot of interest. It always has, always will. So that's why you need to be very, very careful. But a lot of educational value in this video because I'm going to go over some things that I look at in coins. I'm going to also look at certain levels so you can understand where things can go and retrace and where you could potentially find some demand areas where maybe it might be safe to invest in. But personally, my honest opinion, I'd give it a wide berth for now. Let it all cool off. But there is a tactic to make money with Dogecoin and I'll explain it. So we'll go over the basic details of it, right? It's a very, 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 very high supply coin. You can already see this. It also brings out coins all the time. It's had a monstrous rise in growth. Very, very aggressive rise in growth. It's led to a lot of new people come to the market. It's led a lot of new money come to the market. And that's where this video comes in. If you are new to the space and you've never understood why this happens, this is not the stock market. It does not work in the same way. Yes, you can characterize little elements of it, i.e. there's a value, it goes up and down. That's as far as we go. Cryptography, mining, the way it all works, it's different. Especially with this, it dilutes the price because more and more coins are put into circulation. That is not good for price rising. It's good for other elements of use, i.e. a digital internet currency, which Doge is. So, when we start thinking of the history, it was a fork of Litecoin. And that's it. You know, that's as far as it goes. It's not the greatest. It's by all means a community-led coin. It is very much the purest of coins because it wasn't an ICO. It's community-led and it stands everything for crypto. But if you're looking for innovation to change the world in a certain way and you're looking to grow an investment portfolio, Dogecoin probably isn't going to be on that list as an investment portfolio. It'll be there mainly for a use. If you want to move money around or send money to someone, that's what it's there for. It's a peer-to-peer digital currency that enables you to send money easily online. That's it. If you're looking for innovation, this is not it. Sorry, that's just the way the cookie crumbles with my viewpoint on it. But I love it. I love it for what it is or what it stands for. But would I ever consider it as an investment? Probably not, no. Unless, and I'm going to explain why, unless it goes incredibly low and there's opportunity to make money on it, which is what I'm going to tell you about. When you start thinking overall website, yes, lovely, but you can mine this, you can do all kinds of bits and pieces with this essentially very, very easily. You know, you can still make passive income on it, not much, but you can still get Dogecoin for free, which is like, well, you know, that's the kind of thing what we're at here. This is a pure cryptocurrency, which is kind of cool. So, in terms of wallets and stuff, you can get started with wallets. It's a simple little plug in and play, off you go. It's very, very old school, and that's why I kind of like it. But let's talk about charts. We'll talk about the BTC chart first. And what I say with this is, when the dominance is at its highest, Dogecoin, if it is low, and I mean low, there's always an opportunity for a pump. We're talking here, look at where it's been in the past. We could actually, tell you what we'll do, go to the weekly time frame, we could look at the historic value here. Can you see what I mean here? It historically pumps. This is where the money is. It's not a long-term hold, it is an opportunist coin. Always has been, probably always will be the way it is. That's just how it goes. So when you look at the variation of the dominance being high in Bitcoin and this being low, well, you may well find opportunity in the life of getting some extra Bitcoin by using this. Basically, buy it when it's low. It's obvious, right? So when you start looking at variations of where it's been in the past, this 11 Satoshi level, I'd say actually sub 20, let's just say sub 20. If you're looking at this at roughly sub 20 and you're buying it, there's a good chance it'll probably pump at some point. But you've got to remember risk reward here. I wouldn't put money you can afford to lose in here. I'd put free money in here, free capital. And this is what I'm trying to say here. When you start seeing the fact that dominance being really high at certain high levels, and it's higher than it has been, you're probably going to find that the Dogecoin element will be on the floor, literally on the floor. And what we tend to see is volume spikes in it and people going into this. Probably is a bit of a joke as well. So just be careful with it. But let's look at this as overall metric sort of cycles in terms of where this can retrace to. We'll go from the bottom to the top. Huge dynamic here of the wick as well, which you've got to consider. This went really high. This was a monster pump. So just be careful. We are currently all the way at the 618 levels if we're counting this wick on the weekly time frame. If we go down to the, even on the 3-day chart, it's ridiculous how this wick really came into the market. A huge, huge run to the upside. And we're going to retrace, and we already are. We're already below and close below this 618 level at 93 Satoshis. It's 220. And there were celebrities buying this, celebrities talking about this and actually aping into this at the top. And this is a BTC value. So already we've got a historic level here that we could look at from the past. And when we start looking at the past here, we've got levels where it's penetrated and it's been support and resistance all the way. It's currently failing right now. So we've got to be careful with this level. We've got to be really, really careful with this 93 Satoshi level. So that's one to keep an eye on. The next one, the obvious one, is below it. 58 Satoshis. Personally, I would still wait for it to go lower than that. In my opinion, hype will always die down. Hype will always run off. And there was people that were actually betting me one BTC that this would go to $1. Personally, I don't mind sending my Bitcoin address if you're going to do it, but don't bet against a coin like this because you're probably going to lose. When we start thinking where could it go, well, I'm already thinking maybe even below this level once everything cools off. But you've got to remember there's a potential alt season here, so we may get some more hype. So I wouldn't want to chance it too much. But if you're thinking long term, dollar cost averaging is the way to go. Buy little, buy often, buy whenever it gets low. Simple as that. With money you can afford to lose. That is simply how you do it. But for me, when you look at the history of this coin, where does it always go down to? Below 30 sats. All the time. It pumps up above it, comes back down. Pumps, comes back down. Pumps, probably comes back down. You've got to look at that as a metric. So just be careful. But for me, if I'm looking manually, this level here, where it's been before, 27 and below, why not? Ladder in a few orders in and around that level, you may well find something very, very interesting that'll come about, and maybe even lower. So yeah, sorry if I pissed on your chips, but ultimately, this is a high risk level. This is high risk move. If you're aping into this, you're going to get trapped. And I mean that. And people already are. People are doing some silly things with it. And you need to understand that. If I move on to the USD chart, again, similar sort of ilk here. We'll just go from the start of this move where this wick was penetration, not the greatest in the world, but it went up to $7.03 on the Bittrex chart, whether you believe that or not. Obviously slippage on other exchanges, but again, we're at a key level here. And this is important. This is an important level again. Apologies, but you've got to be careful with these levels. This is currently holding, but if Bitcoin pumps, this will go up. Obviously, if it stays stable, it might not do anything at all. Realistically, depending on that Bitcoin Satoshi level, what I just did on the other chart. So again, when we're looking at the dynamic here, we've got a similar sort of setup on both. But for me, I'd be looking down here. I would be looking right down here. And I know people hate to see this, but for me, if you're invested in this and you're like thinking, what can I do? Well, you're probably going to be in a hole. If you bought up here, you got a dollar cost average as low as you can to get out of this hole, because this will not pump as aggressively as you think. Yes, Reddit, cool. Audience, cool. Market eyeballs, Elon Musk, yeah, happy days. But fundamentals are, it births coins. It doesn't have any innovation. It's not going to attract massive income off a big amount of volume of institutions. It's going to just create new money. People have this perception that, it's so low in price, it's going to make you a lot of money when it goes up in value. It doesn't always work the same way, so just be careful. This will average right the way back down to where it was. It will, it always has, it always will do. So you've got to be careful with that. Obviously, I don't have much data on this, but we know there's been there a lot. So even if we look at this previous level of support, cool, but we've got to look at where the volume could be. 2 cents? Probably lower than that. Under a cent? Probably lower than that. So yeah. Anyways, I'll see you later. Hope you enjoy.